Vande Mataram. The words translate to I praise thee, mother, or I bow to thee, mother. Composed by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in 1875, the phrase is a tribute to the motherland personified as a goddess and holds significant historical and cultural importance in India. Now one must think, oh, what an amazing country. Its national song starts by addressing a woman and bowing to her as their mother. Well, what if I told you that more than half the people who sing this song, especially men who sing this song, don't even know its meaning? Because if they did, I'm certain they wouldn't be singing it anymore. Or maybe they would, just like how they pray to Saraswati, Durga, and Lakshmi on the daily, and how they say that Jannah is under the feet of mothers, but somehow fail to bow to the women in their lives. It's been exactly a week since independence. But are we truly independent? Sure, the men in the country are indeed independent. What about the women? Are we independent? And I'm not talking about oh, I'm an office girlie living in a big city, living my own dreams, making it kind of independence. I'm talking about the countless back and forth arguments that you've had with your parents before they allowed you to live your big city dreams. And that too, as long as you live according to them. I'm talking about the independence to walk out alone at night, to leave an abusive relationship without fearing potential murder, or the independence to choose to not marry a man. Do you have it? Do I have it? Do we have it? Funny, isn't it? This year we celebrated the 79th independence this time, completing 78 years of freedom. How about I list 79 and then an additional 78 reasons for the captivity of the women in our country? I decided to upload this video after a week to show you that just in this past week, from the day of independence till yesterday, these are some of the reported crimes that happened against Indian women committed by Indian men. A man from Delhi raped his own old mother twice and said he did it to punish her for her past conduct. A 50-year-old man from UP killed his own daughter with an axe after finding her with her boyfriend. A class 10 boy from Bihar stabbed his classmate because she rejected his advances. On the day of independence itself, a woman was attacked and dragged behind a man's scooter. A woman was raped and murdered in Dima Hasao just the day before independence. And the list can go on and on forever. What independence are we even celebrating? The independence to walk out at night or even broad daylight and get groped, assaulted, or worse, raped just for stepping foot outside to breathe some fresh air? The freedom to pursue higher studies in a different state because our father felt generous for allowing his daughters to gain some worldly knowledge, only to be called back home after just one degree and married off to a man with some dowry, as though they're shifting the burden to a different pair of hands now. And worst case scenario isn't when the man is almost twice her age who shows his love with a beating or two on the daily. Worst case scenario is not even when she dies of suicide. It's when she gathers the courage to step up and ask for a divorce. I imagine the girl on the days preceding the 15th of August in 1947. The little girl must have reveled at the idea of her living her own life now, free from labor dedicated towards the English, free from the cruelty of foreigners. Little did she know that what awaited her now was oppression in its most raw and evil form. Because this time it did not come from outsiders, but from the people that she lived with. Her very own people who fought to gain freedom were now after exploiting her labor day and night. Well, who knew that getting freedom from the Britishers wouldn't automatically free the womb from the curse of birthing males? Who knew that it wouldn't eradicate the pre-existing underlying monsters in every home? Women were fooled. They thought that staying home and feeding and aiding the freedom fighters would make them valued members of society deserving of equal respect. Sure, the only respect we got were some words of praise thrown around in a piece of paper and recited like a chore on Independence Day events or on Women's Day. Long way we came, huh? The staying home got sold as a personality trait of good women, while the men went out to live their best lives. Money, extravagance, affairs, prostitutes, they had it all. They still have it, while all a woman had and has is the supposed love of her husband, which is mostly just a barter collab for her maid like services. We learned the hard way that a country's freedom from oppressors is only surface level freedom, veiling the atrocities of the true oppressors embedded deep within society who feed on the blood, sweat, and tears of the victims. Data from the National Crime Records Bureau of India indicates that, on average, around 86 rape cases are reported daily. This figure is based on the 2021 annual report, which registered a total of 31,677 rape cases across the country. And mind you, it was 4 years ago. Just imagine how the number of cases must have burgeoned in these past 4 years. And it's not like everybody reports these cases. This number is very underrepresented, considering facts like lots of victims not even telling anybody due to the assaulter being own family member or someone they know. Even if they do tell, their own parents, mostly the mother, tells them to stay silent to protect the name and honor. There's social stigma, potential retaliation, and also lots of people working for the judicial system being corrupted themselves. On the daily, I see the disgustingly lustful eyes of random men on the streets, feeling creeped out when directed towards me, and observing when directed towards other girls as young as a child of ages 9 to 10. I see how the women walk, being in a constant mode of vigilance, not knowing when they'll need to take action. I feel myself shifting a little in the taxi seats every time I travel with men, trying to maintain some sort of distance given they end up thinking to harm me. Meanwhile, the men, they just sleep in their Uber rides while a woman is constantly updating someone about her location. I have not a single friend or acquaintance I know who has never once experienced at least some sort of groping, with few of them being assaulted not only by unknown perpetrators but by people they knew. You ask me? Well, I went through it too. I've been groped in public places a few times in childhood to teenage, and I was assaulted to quite a grave degree by a tea garden worker. Oh, and my first boyfriend kept on pushing me to say yes until I did, and even when I told him to stop because it pained, he did not. So you may think that being a girlfriend, she must be safe from at least her own man. You're wrong. He'll only be safe as long as she falls under his capacity to provide an illusion of safety. Because the moment she'll start expressing even the slightest bit of disagreement on anything, he'll start retaliating in his own childish ways. The soft ways of his oppression will be saying things like, "You deserve better." The cruelest will be leaking any private videos that he has of her. You don't even need to search the web. I'm sure if you're from an urban neighborhood, you must keep hearing about some MMS leak in your own or a neighboring school or college every other year. Such is the state we live in now. And don't even dare to tell me, oh, then why don't women go to put themselves out more? Why aren't they making reforms, fighting the system, making changes? Well, I've already given you the stats, cases just this past week. And those are the reported cases, not the countless ones that obviously went unreported. Be it inside or outside, a woman is never truly safe. Even in the judiciary and the parliament, women need to speak thinking about their safety and to prevent offending a man sitting there. There have been cases where police constables have raped a victim seeking justice from another rapist. And let's be honest, in the current Lok Sabha, which is the 18th, there are 74 women members of the parliament. This represents a mere 13.6% of the total 543 members. The previous Lok Sabha had 78 women MPs. In the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Indian Parliament, there are currently 27 women MPs. While the number of women in parliament has increased over the years, it still lags behind the global average. India ranked 129th out of 146 countries in the Global Gender Gap Report 2024, according to Wikispedia. If men truly cared about the country's development, there would have been equal, if not more, women members. They wouldn't be threatened by women's representation and use malicious ways to oppress them. Studies after studies have proved women to be better leaders, while men just keep getting pissed over what the opposing party's politicians say, and then starting wars. If women led our country, we would have already had one of the best education systems in the world, any form of sexual offense punishable by death or third-degree torture, equal rights and legal recognition for all, regardless of caste, class, gender, sexual orientation, or whatever division of superior versus inferior fantasies that men in general have created. So instead of trying to even shift the blame, let me ask you men this. When was the last time you ever bowed to a woman other than your own mother or sister, other than someone you had an interest in? Ah, maybe that's a far-fetched dream, cause y'all love to mock Taylor Swift and her fans, but act like rabid animals when saying your favorite football or cricket star. Tell me, when have you ever truly lived the meaning of the words Vande Mataram? How many women have you lent a shoulder to cry on when she needed it? How many times have you heard about her story of how the men in her life, in all their glory, spoke over her, mocked her, belittled her, and allowed her to just live like a human, like how she wants to? How many times did you not turn a blind eye to the injustices she faced from your superior at work? How many times have you taken any action against those people or even contributed in the slightest to alleviating her woes? Tell me, how many times have you ever, ever bowed to a woman? None. So, no, you do not deserve to sing such a precious song when your mother was getting hit by your father and you never stood up, when your sister had to give up her dreams for you to pursue yours, when your wife had to give up her whole life just to raise your child, and of course, raise you too. When your daughter ended up with a man just like you, because heavens couldn't wash your sins off her. You Indian men, you all will go on singing praise after praise on Independence Day, Women's Day, and Mother's Day. But by the end of it all, when it's time to go to bed, y'all only bow to your own reflection in the mirror. The biggest hidden monsters amongst you all? The ones who actively fight at the borders but forget to hold back those skills at home. One mistake from his wife, and he'll use those same fighting techniques on her face and body. So here's the thing, it is only the Indian man who is truly independent. For a woman's independence lies at the mercy of the man's mood at every point in time. So, even though it's been a week, happy Independence Day, India. Oh, I mean, the men of India. Jai Hind.